there.
Hi.
Hi, welcome everybody.
You again?
I hope it's me again. It's Thursday, 1 o'clock.
It is.
It is that time.
And we're glad to have you with us today, as we are every week. I really still love the feedback that we get.
People have been very kind.
Yeah. I mean, either some of our friends call on the phone, or we always get emails and notes that, really enjoyed the show, or man, you brought back some great memories. That's usually what happens more.
It's nice. It is very nice.
We are brought to you in part today by our good friend, Irving Chung. Who is Irving Chung, you might say? He is a franchise specialist. If you have ever given any thought to maybe what is franchising all about, do I have to go into it on my own? Maybe I can get together with a group and we can get a group together to buy a donut shop or something like that. If you have any kind of questions about it, Irving is the nicest guy. He is a franchisee himself, and he loves to help people learn about franchising and see if it might be something that would fit into their present day or maybe your future plans. Don't wait till you retire and say, I think I'll buy a franchise. Start learning about it now. And I got to tell you, I have had several conversations with Irving. You can spend a lot of money on a franchise and you can spend fairly small amount. And he even has plans where you can get some of that money underwritten.
He's one that gives great advice.
Yep, that was our subject last week.
Yes.
And you talk about advice. Yeah. If you were just to say to him, look, I'm thinking about maybe investing in a franchise. I got $10,000 to invest. Yeah. He would probably say to you, okay, I can even I'll either find a small independent part-time franchise for you to get involved in, or I got 3 other people that also have $10,000. Let's put you together in a group with 40,000.
No, he could do that.
He absolutely. He's a magic maker. He could do it.
Good.
Reach out, because he also will give you a free consultation. Just reach out to Irving Chung at Fran Choice.
He's great.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Nice guy. So
what are we talking about today?
What we were talking about today was we were talking about human behavior and animal behavior.
That's right.
How similar they are and how different they are. And I think we got into the discussion because we were watching a show and they were talking about how people have a tendency to buy pets that look like them. Like a guy with like long hair goes out and buys a Weimaraner or something that's got long hair.
Yeah.
A guy who's a former football star, they seem to like bulldogs. We got that look.
Yeah, you see that on social media a lot with the pictures.
If my hair was longer and curly, I would probably look like our dog. She's got curly hair.
Yeah, but you would think that maybe it's the animals that you can't trust so much that are the more domineering. But when you really do think hard on it, it's the people, I think, that are more dangerous.
Well, humans have a hell of a lot more restrictions than animals do. Animals' routine is pretty much, repetitive. One day is almost the same as the next. They get up and they go out, they come in and they have their meal, and then they sleep, and then they get up and repeat it all over again. Their behavior pattern. Although, wouldn't you say that animal behavior patterns kind of follow human behavior patterns? I mean,
for instance,
if we sit down for lunch, and very often we like to just turn the TV on and watch Judge Judy or watch HGTV or something. Yeah. Sometimes a movie, sometimes a Netflix series. But that's our time of the day, and we take our plate and our drink and we sit down on the couch to have something. Shayna generally will go over to her bed and she will sit down. It's kind of her cue. If we're sitting down, that's her behavior.
What room are you in? You're not in the same room I'm in, where she's got her paws on the couch and just
Well,
wants a
that-
little
that-
bite of my lunch or your
Well, that's
lunch, and
part
she
of it.
goes between one or the other.
That's her behavior.
That
Yeah.
is a learned behavior.
Yeah. And because we give in to her, she continues to do it. And she'll do that little,
Oh,
okay, all right,
yeah.
here's a
She's
little,
dummy.
here's a little piece of bread,
Because
here's
she
a little
knows she's
piece of
gonna
meat.
get something.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more in our area, we have so much building going on that a lot of the animals, the coyotes,
Oh, that's a different
Are-
kind of animal behavior. Yeah.
are being tossed out, if you will, out of their environment, and they're coming into our area.
We're relocating in their home.
That's right.
It's their
And
homeland
so
that we're infringing on.
They aren't happy. They are coming into yards. They are picking up little dogs,
Rabbits,
squirrels. I
squirrels.
mean, you see them dead in the street a lot of times. And so we're upsetting them. And
we're upset because they are killing, the animals in the area. But
yes,
it's them kind of saying, hey, this is my land. I'm
right.
doing what I normally
they need it
do.
for food.
Yep.
Because there's no other way around it.
They're being pushed down to the
Yeah.
creeks and the ponds.
But whereas the humans, I mean, at this point, you really have to be careful even when you stop at a stoplight. Because if you have a disagreement with the motorist in back of you, in front of you, next to
Or
you,
next to you.
whatever, you never know what's going to happen.
Yes. Remember when flipping the bird used to be kind of commonplace on the highway? Now you flip the bird, you might get a bullet through
Oh, yeah.
through your-
You cannot do that. You can't do that. It's what was one of the detectives on one of the cop shows says, it's dangerous out there.
Oh yeah.
It is.
Hill Street Blues. You
Yeah, it was Hill Street Blues.
Be careful
That's
out
right.
there.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Good
But-
memory.
No, but human behavior, I think, has gotten worse for a few reasons. And one of those reasons is we've kind of let it. We just don't seem to restrict bad behavior anymore like we used to. People are
Yeah. Well,
getting away with it. I've always,
and why
well,
is that?
I don't want to get real political.
Well, no, we're not going political, but yeah, is that because we are just letting them through? The courts are being more, but it should be going according to the laws, but it sometimes doesn't seem to.
Well, that's a whole different subject about the whole legal system getting bogged up so that justice doesn't move as smoothly as it used to or as it should. But human behavior in some cases is getting more like animal behavior.
Yeah.
If you look in the animal kingdom, it's the survival of the fittest in the animal kingdom. And if there is a male that is domineering, like for instance, in lions, in a pride of lions, there is usually one domineering male.
Mhm.
If another male says, I don't like the way he's running the pride, he's going to have to fight the domineering male. But isn't that true in human society? That if you don't like a leader in some countries, they have a coup and they overthrow the leader. They eliminate him. That is similar to animal behavior.
That's true.
But
I think there are other animals too that are also very forgiving of humans. Whereas I don't think the humans are so forgiving of each other.
Not as quickly. Yeah. But like in the situation of the animal kingdom, if there is a fight between one, eventually one either kills the other one, or the one says, this isn't worth it anymore. I've led the pride for years. I'll step aside and let the young Turk come in and run things. Sometimes that happens among humans, and sometimes wars are started over it.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting down at the table and one says, you know what? Okay, my ideas have been in power for a long time, and you got new, fresh ideas. It's probably time for me to step aside. and in a negotiating way, you change it.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I was being maybe a little too harsh on people.
People are harsh on people. Maybe that's why
So
you're harsh.
yeah.
It's because in today's society, we have a tendency, instead of being understanding of each other, we have a tendency of, well, let's just go for the jugular and see who wins.
Yeah, why is that? Is that because we've been done wrong too many times by others?
Turn on the
or
TV.
Yeah.
What the leading shows are violence based.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
The movies that come out.
But they think that that's what's going to
Well,
get the most bucks.
but if you
Most
teach
dollars.
people violence, they will become violent because it becomes more commonplace. They understand it.
So we have to go back to that advice we were talking about on the last
We should
on one of the
all
other
be
shows.
we should all be like penguins.
Mm.
Penguins mate for life. They're happy for life. They raise their young ones, teach them to fish, teach them to swim, teach them to take care of each other, and that's their life cycle. And it just goes on and on. Among humans, humans would say, "Oh, is that boring?"
But penguins don't have that much to worry about like a human does. We're bombarded from all angles.
Yeah, but penguins have to survive from day to day and week to week.
Yeah, but you're still surviving in a true jungle as far as people. It's a real jungle. I don't know.
That's an interesting thought. We survive in a jungle, huh? So if we dance in the jungle, is that called the jungle boogie?
I guess you could say it would be.
I'm sorry. I have a hard time carrying on a serious conversation for too long. I just got to break out of my shell. I'm sorry.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. But it is interesting to stop and think about how our behavior as human beings does kind of mirror, more so the other way, that dogs have a tendency to mirror human behavior. But in many cases, humans do it too. I always think about those, for lack of a better word, idiots that just put animals in harm's way. They just chain them up in a yard.
Yeah, I can't figure that out either.
Or they train them to be mean.
Right. Well, because they're mean, probably.
Because they're mean, and they transfer that behavior to the animals, and then animal rescue comes along and tries to undo that damage that's been done.
And sometimes they can, but sometimes they can't, and they have to put them down.
That's right.
That's such a waste. I mean, yeah.
But again,
it goes back to the people.
It's the human behavior that is impressed upon, if you will, the
so what's the answer? We all have to be kinder to each other and show each other.
Well, the bottom line is maybe we could learn a little bit more from animal behavior in order to become better humans.
Yeah. You think that's really going to happen?
What's the first thing that a dog does when you open the door?
Oh,
it comes running to you, looking for a little bit of pat on the head, maybe licks your hand and everything, because they are glad to see you. Humans aren't necessarily that way. Very often, husband comes home from work, his wife run to the door and give him a kiss and say, "Hi, honey, welcome home. Dinner's almost ready." He comes in and he goes right over to the bar, pours himself a drink, turns on the TV. That's human behavior.
Yeah, not everybody. You can't put everybody in.
Not everybody.
That's not fair. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the future is going to change that, and we can all go back to being a little bit kinder to each other, or if it's only going to get worse because
The answer is
I don't
go
know.
out and buy yourself a cat or a dog,
Yeah.
a pet,
Well,
and sit on the couch and rub that pet, and that pet will love you forever.
and that's a way of calming yourself.
It is.
They say that, and it's true.
They do that in hospitals,
Yes.
and nursing homes.
Yes,
They take
absolutely.
animals from shelters and put them on a bed with a patient and all, and it's beneficial for both the animal and for the human.
As long as the humans can take care of that animal properly. Yeah.
And when they don't take care of them properly, then they are not a good human.
You're right. You're right.
So go out and be a good human. Okay.
Please.
And if you have a dog or a cat, right now, when we say goodbye, go pet your dog or cat.
Give them loves and hugs.
Yes. Just like we give each other loves and hugs.
That's right.
Yes.
We do.
See you next week.
Bye.